Here we go again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have LVC Valorant taking on Stony Brook University Black. So we did actually see this LVC team take on Stony Brook, but that was the team one. The team one is nasty, by the way. They are like 8th, I think, in the power rankings out of all of collegiate Valorant. So this team not quite up to that standard, but you can only get so many rosters like that, unless if you're paying a pretty penny for it, like some schools do. But still, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I think it's hilarious, but still do not do well. Anyways, LVC. I don't know why I thought I was casting for a different team. LVC going to take on Stony Brook here soon. We don't have all the players in the lobby yet, but we should get them in here soon. We saw on Monday, yesterday, that they were able to take down, I believe it was, I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. Rats. Oh, North Carolina State. They won their first game at NECC Champions Mideast Division. They took down the North Carolina State Red team, and today they have Stony Brook Black on the docket. It's going to hopefully be a really good one, as this Stony Brook team has been in a tough situation, just as we have seen with LVC. I don't know if they have their first win yet. I will pull up the spreadsheet in just a second here. I just need to make sure it's the right one. It is. And let's go on over to the scoreboards, or the leaderboards. This is a reschedule from next week. So this game was actually supposed to be played on Monday, but we will be gone for spring break on next week. So we just had to reschedule this one. Currently, yeah, LVC, well, they were 0-3. Now they're 1-3. And Stony Brook is at 0-3 as well, as unless if they won yesterday. I would have to look through the NECC Discord, and that's kind of like way too much to look through. So I'm not 100% sure, but either way, LVC in a good spot to bounce back. And we saw yesterday that the role change is helping a little bit, moving some players around to different roles and seeing if they can thrive in a different way. And so far, it's worked. And I think that there's a very good chance for this LVC roster to continue winning, despite how strong this division really is. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this one, as LVC has not had the greatest run just yet, but they still have a lot of game left. They will have to take on Ohio State, University of North Carolina, Tennessee Tech, and Purdue as well before they conclude the season, at least the spring semester here. And that'll even be before we have playoffs. They could even make some noise in playoffs if they manage to take a couple more maps off of some of these, or take a couple more games off of some of these teams. Currently, though, they're sitting at the bottom of the standings, tied here with Stony Brook. Well, they're actually above Stony Brook now that they're 1-3, but it's not in the NECC thing, and it's kind of hard to gauge, especially without knowing what happened with Stony Brook in their match on Monday, if that was even played. The map set tonight, though, is Pearl, Lotus, and Icebox. Pearl is a fantastic map for LVC. Their most versed map and their most comfortable. So we will see if LVC has the ability to take this one. Just waiting for one more of the Stony Brook players to hop into the lobby, and then we'll be ready to start. Also, LVC will be defending on all 3 maps tonight, just as a heads up there, and just have to wait. I want to throw it to a break, but I don't know how long this player is going to take to join. Likely, we'll see LVC start to play more towards the meta as well, as we saw at the start of the semester. They're trying to force Chamber into their lineup, maybe force a different duelist than what we would see on most teams for like Pearl, where you've been seeing a lot more. Where we've been seeing a lot more Phoenix. John would still be picking Jet, but now he's decided. Now the team has worked it out and really came up with the decision to play that meta and kind of truly understand why the meta is what it is. And I think that's been a huge part for them in understanding how they want to go about playing the map and how they want to go about taking some of these series as well. And even in the map bans, I believe Split is probably their ban for the most part. I don't know how much they. I know they're not the biggest fans of Split, so I would guess that that's their ban at this current moment. But it very well could be something else too. I'm not 100% sure. Still waiting on the last player for the side of Stony Brook to hop in here. I don't see anything in the chat from what it looks like. Oh, okay, okay. One of their players is currently just trying to get back to their setup and everything, so just have to wait for a little bit longer, and then we'll be good to go. But for now, I will throw it over to a quick break. Unfortunately, the players are playing remote today. Not all of them have cameras, so I do not have the player cams for you. Instead, I only have the versus screen. So we will be back in just a little bit when we are ready to start the series. Can't make this up. He literally joined the second I went to the other screen. So we are going to be starting here in just a couple seconds as we wait for the okay from the side of Stony Brook to be ready on up, and then we'll be good. I cannot believe that timing I just got. I tried to stall, and I was like, oh, the stall's not working anymore. I just have to give it up here, and then it worked. So we are now here, ready to get things going on Pearl. I always love watching some LVC Valorant. They are a great group of guys and a great team to watch as well. And we will have to find out if they can continue their winning streak. It's currently only at 1, but with how turbulent the start of this semester has been, we are certainly good, we are certainly excited to see them just win maps. We are now starting the map and just need to load on in here. Also need to get OBS to pick up Valorant, so give me a second. There we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Map numero uno on Pearl. Looks like LVC gonna, once again, go for a similar setup that we saw yesterday, and, I mean, it worked beautifully, so there's really no reason to change it. As you can see, we have the Phoenix from John, the Killjoy from Crispert, the Astra from Juice, Sardog going to be hopping on the Sage, and Zario working with the Sky. We saw John and Zario working hand in hand, and I've personally seen and heard from the players. They both, I believe John and Zario both agree that they love playing off each other. They want to have more opportunities to play next to each other and play off each other's contact. That's really been a huge point for this entire team, to find a duo and kind of stick things out, unless if you're Juice, who just kind of has to sit back a little and do his own thing. Actually, that's not even true, really. It's more so of a Sardog thing. Kind of do your own thing, get your own kills, and that's exactly why he's playing Sage on this map. He has so many ways to create his own angles and find creative ways to get things done on the map. And looking over at the side of Stony Brook, we're going to have a fade from Axie. Leftover, going to be on the Astra. Icy playing Cypher. Jonathan going to be on the Phoenix. So we actually have 2 Johns that are on Phoenix. That's a interesting one. And Pocket playing Viper. I think I like the Viper as well on this map. Definitely has a lot of utility to use around the B, especially the B site. We'll see how much that comes into effect. I think Astra's a bit more picked on this map, mostly because of the way she can use her utility. It's not really stuck to one site, but I mean, either way, it works either way. That Viper's Pit really is a massive piece to have on either side of the map. Taking a bit to loot in here. Hopefully the lobby starts. Not too sure what's going on here. Hopefully I didn't crash. I think my game may have crashed, and that would be very sad, as I think my game did crash. Let me see. That, or we're just taking a very long time to load in, but I think my game just did crash, so that's unfortunate. I just came back from playing a Halo game where the game crashes after every single map. Oh, no, we're in. It just took a super, super long time. I've never seen Valorant take that long to load in. Anyways, I did come from a Halo match, and that game crashes anytime you load up a map. So thankfully, we did not crash. It was just the game being a bit slow. And we are here ready to watch LVC take on Stony Brook. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. looks like John and Zario want to get aggressive early on. We saw that's what gave them a lot of success, getting some pressure, throwing some flashes right around the corner there of A main, getting that ultimate orb in their hands as well. As you can see there, John only needs 6 ult points to get that run it back, and that's really a huge thing to have early in the map. But John gonna get countered by the fade, and Zario gonna fall early to Axie. I love that counter strat. Stony Brook certainly doing their homework from the series last night. Seeing if how to play against this LVC squad. Sardog spots pocket there at the jump peak. But for now, all quiet on the western front. As readjustments are made from the LVC defense. Sardog gonna look to put that wall up. Stands against it, but after he spots a couple more players, he'll certainly look to stall this push for just a second. Tries to get across, and he's gonna have to heal himself on up. His teammates are making their way over. John looking to get through the back of the spawn. Sardog gets flashed, but he gets the right click onto one, so he at least takes a life with him before losing his own. John, though, going to be planting the spike. Jonathan going to be planting the spike. As John Cook going to be sitting in connector. Gets 2. No one checks it. And John Cook going to find the equalizer, but still 2 more bodies left to put onto the floor. If you are LVC. And Crisper trying to hit the shots, but just not quite there. It's John looking to get kill. Pings the bomb, but Jonathan gonna win the one-on-one. The Phoenix battle gonna go his way, and he has 4 on the round. Stony Brook taking the lead early on in round numero uno. Huge win for Stony Brook there. They start to kind of crumble as they got onto the site. As no one checked connector. I was a bit surprised on that. Granted, they had no info on where John was, but I would have imagined they would have checked it a bit better. But it works in their favor, and I think that pick early as well onto Zario, a huge factor in that round. But now the flash is going to come through. John Cook managed to grab that ultimate orb. Flashes continue to come through for LVC. Just spots everyone early. As Zario just has no other choice but to back away. Crisper maybe trying to get a cheeky one-on-one, but he's not going to have the gun for that. Shot's been a bit off so far to start things out, and now Zario by himself on the A site. Has to be careful, but he's going to take a lot of damage there. Gets the healing orb from Sardog, but Spike is going to go down.
Planted.
Onto the A site. Full control if you are Stony Brook here. As obviously just trying to find a one-on-one fight somewhere, but the entire team is there. Pocket finds 2. And Jonathan going to pick up the last on the Juice. Stony Brook up by 2 now. Looking to put LVC down early. But we are headed into the bonus. One LVC certainly would prefer to take. As you can see, the weapons in their hands. Jonathan does have a Phantom, so he's currently 5-0 as well. Although he did have 4 kills in that first round, so certainly a big boost to his stat line.
Target out. Hawk out.
As look at this already, the adjustment from LVC coming in. They're playing much, much slower on this A site. Also, don't want to lose those rifles, as that could be the deciding factor in this round. Just trying to play their distance, and that's exactly what will give them the win, as long as the shot is on. Slowly, we're going to see Stony Brook creep up on the A site. Now, here comes the execution. As you can see, Jonathan already has the run it back, so he's just going to pop it, check the site, make sure it's all clear. And he only spots John Cook, who was able to take down the second before His ultimate goes away.
Spike planted.
So now Zario kind of stranded in Art. And the rest of his team stuck in CT. They have the weaponry to do some damage as Crisper finds the first pick onto Icy. Zario just trying to get some extra info. His trades are still in for Stony Brook. 3v3 though. Flash gonna come in from Jonathan in any second now. As Zario finds 2-3 great kills. Wonderful shots from Zario, and he just holds down the left click and gets the transfer. Recoil control on point. You could also see there Sardog walled himself in, so it would have taken a fair amount of time for the players of Stony Brook to even get to him on the site. Huge work from LVC to take back a round, and now we head into the rifles. Although John, Crisper, and Juice not going to be too well equipped in this round just yet. This from Stony Brook again, just playing so aggressively over towards A main. This is a great way to create some success. Sardog gonna find the first blood on the pocket, just peeks a bit too quickly, but look at this. It doesn't even matter really, as the rest of his team minus Icy here is on A. Maybe just trying to see if he can catch someone rotating, but Zario gonna have to at least get a player down here, and he does not. Doesn't even get a tag as Crisper takes down Icy over on B. Now that's all the pressure off the map, or off that side of the map for them. Outside of that though, the spike goes down, and all of the players of Stony Brook just gathered across over on the A site. Felix, your mini-map in the top left corner there though. You will see 3 of the LVC players looking to pinch through T-spawn. Jonathan gonna have a lot of work ahead of him, but he certainly can make it happen. Flashes himself, not great, but John Cook also has his ultimate, and he will pop it, find a kill. Zario falls over in Art, and Leftover takes down Sardog. So now all 3 players from LVC just have to sprint onto the site and hope they can get the spike defused. There's not enough time left though. They're gonna have to play around this wall bang, and Crisper gets him down. But will LVC get the defuse? They do, with just 1 flat second left. LVC barely taking the round. As now we're all tied up again. So far, LVC doing a great job of keeping the retakes in their control. It's a bit sketchy there at the end, as maybe the timing's a bit off and taking a long time on that flank, but it manages to work out in their favor. They clear out the site quickly enough and get that last player out of the cubby. And look at this from John. Flashes himself. Maybe the position just a bit off, and Jonathan now gonna be close. Sardog finds pocket, and Zario and John Cook work together to take down Jonathan.
Swarm grenade out.
Crisper playing through connector.
Placing swarm grenade.
This is just the LVC default here.
Hey.
As you can see, John Cook and Zario working their way through Art, just making sure that no one gets too much pressure through mid, as Leftover gets hit by the dog. That's going to be John Cook moving in, finds 2.
Spike down.
It's all down to Icy, who's behind these players, but unfortunately just stuck with a frenzy. Does not really have a weapon to deal with that. And LVC taking the lead after the save from Stony Brook.
This goes here.
Now full rifles for both teams, so finally we have ourselves an even round. Sardog gonna be the one with the op again. We did see him get a first blood in that last round. We'll see if he's able to do it again. But look at this push from Stony Brook. This time though, instead of sending that 1 player over towards B, they decide to just go for a full hit over at A. And look, LVC, no one sitting on site, and that could be dangerous, as Crisper trying his best to rotate over fast enough, but the Nightfall comes in, and so does the run it back from Jonathan. These Phoenix players getting their ultimates so quickly. Here comes the Viper's Pit. See if it makes a
planted.
difference. That's one of the bigger differences on this map so far for these teams. And John at least gets one before falling. A great shot from Zario. Gonna spot another with the Seeker. That's Jonathan out the map as well.
Scout destroyed.
But the main player to worry about is still on site. That's going to be Pocket on the Viper. That pit will remain up until Viper is taken out or that smoke integrity
Last player
falls
standing.
out. It'll be all down to Pocket. And finally gets found. Juice hops the defuse and LVC survive another round. Now 4-2, building up a
Caught
lead.
in my bot.
Can they hold it? Now in round number 7, LVC with another great retake. They're basically just giving up the A site in its entirety,
Alarm
and
bot
it's just working. It manages to work for somehow for LVC. Their retake game has just been phenomenal so far. They are finding the kills. They are getting the guns hot early on, and that's really what's continuing to give them the lead. You can see Crisper has the lockdown, and Sardog has the resurrection. Juice also won off the Cosmic Divider, but might not even need it for right now. As John Cook should have a one-on-one with Pocket, and he gets that. That's an easy win for the Phantom there, especially against the Frenzy. As Juice, working with Crisper, pushes Axie, and that's a kill. Now Zario gets a spot with the dog. Leads to a John Cook kill.
One
Spray
enemy
through the
remaining.
smoke is good as well from Zario. As it's all down to leftover. Another flawless from LVC. Actually, I don't know if that was another, my bad. A flawless from LVC. As they take that round fairly handily, as it was another save round from Stony Brook. Not had too great of an opportunity to take much off of this LVC team since the start of it. See LVC starting to find their groove, and it's going great for them at the moment. Sardog, again with this op, now going to have an impact on this B site. As you can see, the players of Stony Brook looking to switch things up, go over to that B site, but they're going to have to get through Sardog first. He doesn't have an ability to teleport out, as we had seen with Chamber. Trigger discipline, though, is on point. He gets smoked off and has to back away. Best way of going about that one. As look at this angle from Sardog. What timing does he get, though? Spots one. The shot's just a bit off. And now he's going to be isolated in this gunfight. He does have a shorty in the back pocket, though. This could be a big weapon, as Juice just supporting his teammate perfectly. And that's going to lead to a rotation off after that lockdown comes in from Crisper. Fantastic team play from LVC. Juice finds another. The shot from Sardog again off, but can he hit this one? No. These players of LVC, though, hunting down Stony Brook. That was a bit of a dangerous one there from Axie, but doesn't quite get the kill. As Saris picks one up with a shorty. You can see Icy here as Sardog reses Zario. Icy just watching this rotate out. This could actually be a really clean play.
30
How
seconds
will this
left.
work for Icy? As John not going to be expecting it, but look at the patience from Icy. Huge play, gets one, gets two, can he get the
Player
third?
standing.
No. Still great work from Icy, great patience. He finds a free double. Left over, the last one left alive, and John going to win that fight. Not a lot left there for Stony Brook, as they get picked off the B site pretty quickly, and great call from LVC to put the forces over on the B site as quick as possible, get that lockdown in. That's going to allow them to take the round, as there's really no util on the side of Stony Brook to take it down. So they just had to back away, and they couldn't win the fights quick enough. So LVC working well with their utility to give themselves another round. Looking much cleaner than what we saw earlier on in this season. This is another make or break round for Stony Brook. They will be more than broke if they lose this round. They cannot afford to lose another one. What do they have in them? It looks like another huge B hit. Viper wall comes up, but they're all going to be free-firing where Sardog was in the previous round with that op. But he's not going to be home.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divider comes in. Juice has his as well if he wants to use it. Zarya just going to be patient, but now his location is known. So he has to be careful. Sardog with a great orb. Doesn't know it, but probably smacked one of those players in the head. And now everyone from Stony Brook has the ability to play an A main. But look at this wall from Juice. Cosmic Divider in a perfect spot. Forces the chaotic play. Diffuse trying to come in for Crisper, but he gets pulled out of it. And now all of the damage being done from utility for both of these teams.
Placing alarm bot.
As Crisper just trying to keep his teammates alive. Sardog hops to the defuse, gets it to half. Can he continue to keep it up as all the kills going in every which direction? And Axie gonna get the 1v2! Juice does not have enough ammo for that. And that's going to be a huge, huge round to win if you're Stony Brook. Juice does not reload his gun. Certainly if he does there, he finds that kill and LVC get the defuse. Actually, I don't even know if they would have gotten the defuse then, but it is a massive 1v2 from Axie to keep Stony Brook in it. Although they're still in a very rough make or break situation. They need to win at least a couple more. There's only 3 left on the round though, so they can just save for that final round and a half too if they need. Pocket just sprints on to be main. Shoulders, but not strong enough, not good enough for Sardog to take that kill as John Cook finds the pick onto Jonathan with that molly, and Zarya gets left over before he can get away. John Cook also in the ultimate, finds a few more, tries to get a bit more damage with the classic. Seekers are out from Zarya as well. Crisper takes out Pocket and B main. Axie all by himself with 34 HP, a flawless from LVC. LVC now at 7-3. 2 more rounds left in the first half, and it's been all LVC for the most part so far. Managed to string, as you can see there in the middle of the scoreboard, 6 straight rounds. And that's really what gives them this huge lead. But it could still be a 7-5, so still have a bit to be played. Let's look at this play from John Cook and Zarya again, looking to work through mid. As Crisper gets marked by that haunt. So location gonna be known. Trying to get a shoulder down. Throws out the turret. Zarya has to be careful. He's getting pinched. He is dead. He is 1000% dead here. As he's getting shot in the back. He still has health, but cannot get out of that fight. Maybe just a miscommunication. Crisper should have either seen or known that there's going to be a player towards connector.
Got one.
Crisper at least makes up for it, gets the trade. Manages to back away as well.
Recalling my bot.
All of these players for Stony Brook going to look to work through connector. They don't have great weapons, but Jonathan at least going to have the Vandal in hand. And he's certainly the one you want with it right now. LVC all rotated over to A, and now they're going to have to make the push back to B. Icy might be able to get at least a bit of damage here. He's just going to be able to get away with his life for now. Axie gets the plant down.
Spike planted.
So LVC will have to retake again. Their retakes have been great today. Can they continue?
Here.
As Sardog just spots the shoulder of Axie as Jonathan gets taken out. Now that Vandal is on the floor. As Axie and Icy are going to get pushed by LVC. John Cook picks up both. Huge win for John Cook there to take down both of those players. 8-3 scoreline. Looking to have a 9-3 half
round before the switch.
Going into their attacking side. But so far, so good. If you're LVC here in this game, have been able to control it for the most part. Their retakes have just been phenomenal all half long. And it's looking like another A main hit if you are Stony Brook. They have a few ultimates to work with as well, so this could work in their favor. But Zario pulls out the op and hits the shot onto Axie. John plays the bait, and it works in his favor. Crisper finds Icy in the middle of the map as well. All things crumbling for the side of Stony Brook in this round already. Not even that far into it. Zario looking for another angle. Is he going to find it? It's looking like not, unless of Pocket decides to get a bit aggressive here, but just backs on down. John playing the corner and Art. No one from LVC going to go on a pinch here, so we'll have to wait for Stony Brook to make a decision on how they want to attack this site.
Joke's over. You're dead.
And it looks like Zario just picks off Jonathan with
Watch your eyes.
Jonathan's ultimate.
Flash.
John Brook barely avoiding that flash. There's one of his own. The shots are a bit off, though.
One enemy
So he only
remaining.
gets one. Crisper comes through. Art, though, finds the other two.
Not coming back.
LVC take the half in a 9-3
Switching
fashion.
sides.
Just need 4 more rounds if they want to win this map. Put themselves up 1-0 early on into the series.
Spikes here.
Currently, John Cook 15-6. Crisper 12-5. Juice 10-4. Great performances from all of them. As that's really been John Cook really been the difference maker for this LVC team. We know how much he likes to play it fast and aggressive, and now that it's a bit more controlled than what we've seen in the past, it's been just even more, or it's been even more beneficial for this LVC roster, and that's really what's giving them so many round wins in this game. And not even in this game, even in the last one too. And now that he's working off of Zario as well, it's just a great team effort all around, especially with John Cook being able to step up much more in this position. LVC have a large split push here, 2 on each site, and Crisper just checking mid to make sure nothing gets through. Jonathan already a bit weak, but he actually can't heal himself anymore in this round either. He's only at 61 HP. Zario just watching Art. John Cook trying to get the angle onto Jonathan. He has the molly if he wants to use it. Dog going to come in and spot Axie. As Jonathan looks to get a flash in, as John Cook gets caught sprinting with the flash in hand. Things get a bit chaotic at the start of this round as trades are abound. 3v3. Spike is down again. Icy not going to be able to get the kill into Sardog or Crisper, and he's going to pay for it. Not hitting all of those shots. Axie going to have to work here with Leftover and Art. But all of the players of LVC are in A main, and they're going to have to walk right past this wall into the firing squad that is LVC. As Axie is on top of the wall, but how much is this really going to do? Tries to mark the players, taps the defuse, and gets a Colette! Crisper, though, in the one-on-one, and what a set of bullets from Axie! What a clutch for Stony Brook.
Save the day. Easy. Dreams are a funny thing.
I don't know what I just watched, but the players of LVC just line on up, and that's going to be a tough one. There you see the timeout coming in for LVC. Wisely so. Certainly not a great play if you're LVC. I believe it was John Cook and John Cook and Sardog, I think, just stacked on up, and that's going to be a dangerous one. Axie maybe getting a bit lucky there, but still going to be happy with that round. They're going to need a lot more of that, though, if they want to continue to compete in this map. Still down 9-4. LVC maybe just having a little discussion about how this one happened and what really went on in that round. A great spot to regain, though. Just the second round of the first half, and really nothing too dangerous to work with just yet. Although, if they're not careful, Stony Brook can start stringing some rounds together. and put this game back at a draw. They're going to need 5 straight, though, if they want that to happen. Now back on into it. LVC again going for a default. They had a great setup on site in the last round, and realistically that should have been theirs to lose, and they simply just stacked on top of each other. If they do not stack like that, they win that round every single time. So certainly nothing to be too down about.
Here.
Just one little misplay as the turn of Crisper. Gonna look the direction of Jonathan. Jonathan's certainly gonna look to get some bullets down. I'm surprised he hasn't destroyed it yet. But finally, a turn gonna go down. It's gonna be Icy the one to pick it up. Leftover, trying to shoulder over in B main. Not sure if he has any info on Juice and Sardog, who are just sitting behind the pillar in the middle of main. We'll have to find out, though. As now all of LVC stacked in B main. Leftover certainly going to get a spot onto at least one of them. Now, more smokes go down. He has the info. Can he find a kill? Takes down John, put at the 9 HP himself, though. Doesn't have a lot to work with. Both of those kills go LVC's way. Although Pocket at least picks up Sardog before getting taken out himself. Zarya looking to plant.
30 seconds left.
3v3 retake again. How does LVC play this? The shots from Zarya are on point. Now gets a flash in, but Axie gonna kick him off before he can get anywhere. Juice makes it a 1v2, and now Jonathan in the one-on-one with Juice. The angle not there. Just Juice needs to be careful here. He doesn't have to over peek. Jonathan has some health as well to work with. As the shots from Juice are off, Jonathan's defusing, and Juice just not hitting the shots to defuse for Stony Brook. Juice just not shooting at the right spot, and now LVC in a bit of a dangerous position. They need to be a bit more careful. Things are getting a bit scary. A couple tough round losses there, and I'm not really sure what is going through the minds of LVC right now, but it can't be anything too great after those last two. No one with ultimates just yet. As again, LVC just looking to play for info. Only 3 players on this B site for Stony Brook. Actually make that 2 as the third rotates over to A. It is a bonus, so LVC have the weapon advantage, and they just need to take rounds bit by bit if they want to take this game. They don't need a lot. They just need 4. As Juice peeks away at the worst possible time. Jonathan, though, oh, he's stuck with a frenzy. I thought he may have had a sheriff in this round. As John Cook gets some solid shots. Takes out Jonathan.
I've got your trail.
Now Axie looking to get some damage down, but he gets hit by the Seeker, just trying to do something as Zarya chases him down. The Seeker's going to be deadly. John Cook flying through, finds Pocket. Can he find the next? Does he pop the ultimate? I believe. No, he did not actually. I forgot everyone had ultimates. John gets his third on the round. John just flying with his life, and Icy only able to take one down with him. LVC hit their 10th. Need to find a few more rounds like that, and they'll be up 1-0 heading to Lotus. Not really sure the plan for LVC on Lotus, as it is the new map in the rotation. They've only played it one other time, so it'll be or 2 other times, I think. It'll be an interesting one to see go down, but that's another map for another time, as we're still here on Pearl. Pocket, the only player on the B site, has a few shots thrown his way, gets flashed. John Cook pops the ultimate, so we're going to see him just fly on through. He gets walled off by Sardog, though, probably a wise one, as John Cook doesn't get a lot of information on the other players with the run it back. Sardog's going to be in a one-on-one with Icy. Zarya gets aggressive, though, and peeks with him. finds at least one. Zarya gets taken out. John Cook responds. He finds another kill with the Molly as well. And now Pocket in a 1v4 just going to need to save this weapon. Backs on away. Keeps himself out of the fight. May look to just spot a player somewhere around, but no one going to be there. The bomb will blow up, and LVC going to go up to 11-5. Gets a bit scary there after the first couple rounds in this half, but LVC have managed to work their way through it and put themselves at 11. Now just needing 2 more. It's been much closer than before. Pocket gonna be on B site once again. The home for this player as CRISPR has to back down quickly. No one on A site for LVC or for Stony Brook directly. Juice though picks off Pocket on B main, and now the shots from John are so shaky. Doesn't get anything and pays with his life. It's a rifle in the hands of Stony Brook. That's 2 actually. And never mind as Juice gets that trade at least, but now a 3v3 and it could be a thrifty if you are Stony Brook. Would be a huge thrifty to put into their pockets.
You are
Cosmic Divider going to come in, and now the default plant, as we see typically with this roster, come in. Should be behind this box to the right of Axie. For now, though, no damage done. The spike now going down. Actually goes down the other side of that box, and Zario gets taken out. And all the players of LVC get peeked and wiped off the map. Jonathan has no regard for human life as he puts on the run it back.
My ultimate is ready. Spike the fuel.
And Stony Brook keeping themselves alive round by round. They need to string some together though if they want to have a chance. They all that ultimate from Jonathan is huge. He just flies right past the Cosmic Divider, does not need to worry about his life, and it's going to be the reason Stony Brook take that round is he can just fly on through and pick off those 2 unexpected players from LVC. Zario gets capped in the back of the site. LVC can just trade rounds though and still take this pretty quickly. They only need 2 more. So it's going to have to be almost some perfect Valorant if you are the side of Stony Brook. Icy has had his ultimate for a while. Has not used it once this map. I mean, he really hasn't had a great opportunity to.
Blinded.
We'll see though.
Heal up, squad.
LVC is if Icy has a chance later on to use it. Jonathan getting very aggressive, working his way through mid. Actually decides to back on down. The dog from Zario. Good from Jonathan. Although he still gets spotted. Pocket hiding behind the wall. And now all of LVC looking to execute onto this B site. Seekers come out for LVC, for Zario there. And they're going to know one is playing in back site. As Pocket just trying to stay alive for as long as possible, but he's going to get hunted. Zario tries to push through, gets taken out. And the hat going to locate the players of LVC, but it's not realistically going to matter much as all of Stony Brook just falling as that's going down. 2v3, still winnable. Jonathan, location's going to be known in connector. Actually, the back spawn of the spawn of CT just not going to have a great chance to peek much of anything. Jonathan, he's just going to look to toss down the wall, win the one-on-one, but the second Jonathan falls, Axie does as well. And now LVC just needs to
Match
put
point.
one more on the board before they take the map from Stony Brook and put themselves one away from taking a series, or taking the second series in a row. And look at this from LVC finally deciding to come up with a different play. As
Let's
they haven't
see
really
now.
needed to, but this round may be special
Right
as
there.
LVC stacks into a main, and we'll see what they can do.
Blasting
Leftover,
them.
though, in a great spot with the judge here. Could be huge in this round for Stony Brook if his close corner isn't checked.
You
Even if it
should
is,
run.
that's a judge in your
Obscuring
hands.
vision.
As now he has the kill on the John.
Obscuring vision.
There goes one, grabs the Vandal or the Phantom and walks away. Has the smokes to do so and manages to
You
get off
will
sight
not kill
right
my
before
allies.
that lockdown goes in. Sardog gets the resurrection, so it is back to a 5v5, but John Cook gonna be without a weapon. Gonna be stuck with that judge. Juice looking to plant in an open field spot. And gets a great spot and shot on the pocket. LVC now in what could be the closing seconds of this map. John Cook going to heal up. Zarya finds Axie. Icy, though, has something to respond with. Still needs to get to the spike as it's in a rough spot to defuse in. Just guaranteed going to need every kill. John Cook, look at this spot from John Cook. Has the judge in hand, so he can do exactly what was done to him before he died. Doesn't need to, though. The rest of the team picking up kills. And that'll be the round and the map for LVC. Pearl again proving to be a great map for LVC as they go up 1-0 in the series. 23-11 from John Cook, 19-12 from Zario, 18-7 from Juice, 15-9 from Crisper. Sardog doesn't even have to do much. Only 8-7-6, and no reason for him to really have a much larger part in that round or in that map. So great stuff from LVC there. Things are starting to click much better for this roster. And I think that's a huge thing for them as we will head on over to Lotus. Not sure if we're taking a break or not. We may just head straight into this one as a response from Stony Brook as they just kind of want to get this thing going. Continue into the second map. Apologies, I'm trying to type a message to Zario to make sure that what is happening is happening. Looks like we're just going to get right back into it here. Oh. Looks like we're just going to hop right back into it here in just a second. We'll see if we'll see what happens, but for now, I mean, LVC looked fantastic map 1. They give up a couple of really weird rounds where great plays are made from the side of Stony Brook, but in the end, it's just not all of it's going to click for the side of SBU, Stony Brook University, as LVC managed to play really well as a team, and we've seen how much that improves their gameplay, not only individually, but also collectively. Allows them to get more space on the map and play at a bit faster of a pace when they need to, and realistically, the exact thing you want to see from LVC if you are a fan of them here in the chat. But it looks like we may have a break for just at least a couple seconds as not really too sure what's going on in between maps. Is usually we take a break, but Stony Brook kind of, from what it sounds like, want to get on with it. But to be quite honest, I'm not really sure. So I guess I will throw it over to the versus screen. Hopefully it's not exactly like the last map where it just immediately starts the second I put it onto the screen. But we will be right on back as we get ready to start map number 2 on Lotus. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have Lotus online. LVC taking map number 1, 13-6, I think. Sorry, I missed the score. Let me pull up the stream. The delay is a bit too short, even though it's already 3 minutes long. Is LVC now looking to close things out here on Lotus. Look at Sardog loving to hover over that chamber. Certainly going to pick him as well, I'd imagine. Has a much larger viability on that C site where he can throw a TP down and walk all the way out to Mound and still manage to teleport back to safety. Oh, the close angles giving him a lot of cover, and there it is. Locks in the chamber. Zario going to be hopping on KO Juice with the Omen. Crisper on the Cypher, and John Cook going to be playing Sky. So 0 duelist composition from LVC. Something that's been a lot more prevalent when it comes to Valorant in the current meta. But look at the other side. It very well could be a double duelist comp. So we could see two insanely different play styles from both of these teams. This is going to be an exciting one. This is going to be a really good map to watch. We just wait for all the players of Stony Brook to fully select their agents. And there it is. We have a Jet, Arena, Omen, Killjoy, and Breach. This is a fantastic looking map so far. Just look at those comps. I am so excited to watch how these two play against each other. On one hand, you have two players that can do anything individually on their own and just fly around the map at Mach speed. And on the other side, you have players that want to just sit back, let you come to them, maybe initiate a fight after throwing down a flash or two. Unless if you're Sardog, then you just play like a duelist anyways. But outside of that, very, very interesting stuff. Look at this, Sardog. Couldn't be happier to make his way. Actually going to be playing on B.
That works.
So he's going to peek. Or no, he's just, okay, so he throws the trip down, and then he moves over to C. Couldn't be happier to play onto the C site. Going to be joined by Crisper. Maybe just play off the intel. As it's going to be a full C main push. If you are Stony Brook, minus Icy there, who decides to maybe just see if the waters are a bit murky over at A, and there's certainly a bit to appear that way. As he gets hit with all sorts of utility, and look at the headhunter from Sardog. Only finds one, decides not to teleport out, gets a bit maybe too overzealous, and
Cage triggered.
that's not going to be a good look.
Found my wire.
As Crisper's tripwire gets taken out, now the site can be taken. If you are Stony Brook, this could be a huge play, and a big misplay from LVC as Leftover slams John Cook off the map through that smoke.
Planted.
Spike goes down, and this could be disastrous for LVC. Axie finds Crisper, although Juice is on the pinch. Tries to play it as best as he can, but doesn't, and Axie gonna get the last kill. A rough round from LVC. Sardog cannot get so aggressive there. He does kind of get flicked on, though, so it's not completely his fault, but just needs to get one kill and get on out, and certainly he'll learn from that. You can see already an adjustment from Stony Brook. Icy just tossing down the turn on the pinch this time around, but also has the spike in hand, so we may see now an A push if you are Stony Brook. And no, it is still looking like that C push, but Sardog going to be holding through B, so Crisper going to have his work cut out for him before that camera gets destroyed. He at least get one, gets flashed and just tries to back away. Gets hit with all the util though. And now LVC have to scramble back again. This is a very attack heavy map, but LVC have had the starts of what could be good rounds, and now again in a place to retake. Not gonna be They're going to be all stacked towards this back site. Will the flashbangs be enough? Knife goes down, and the flash comes in from the Reyna as Jonathan takes out John Cook. And all the kills going the way of Stony Brook. Only Juice going to be the one to pick up a kill, and that's not a flawless, but it's a team ace from Stony Brook. And here we go into the bonus round of this first half. And Stony Brook look fantastic again off the rip of this map. We saw them go up 2-0 in the first map, and didn't end too great for them, as although they are in a much more attack-heavy map this time around, as opposed to Pearl, which I would say is a bit more defensive-sided. Whisper just trying to get a camera down early, see if he can get any info, but that thing gets destroyed off the whip. And Zario picks off Pocket. Crisper gonna get smoked off, and Shaw's trying to get put through the smoke as well. Stardog just hanging out over at C, but these doors do open over towards the location of Jonathan. It's on the other side. Juice may be in a great spot here to find at least a kill, and he does. Gets traded, but at least gets his one. And Zario not gonna make it easy for these players of Stony Brook to find that weapon. Icy, though, managed to get across, and now the site of attack very well could be a 3 detects, though, for Zario on that knife. Is the rotation going to come in? Looks like Jonathan just going to be lurking around. Maybe see if Zario peeks out that side door again. As the push through B main starting to flow through. But all players of Stony Brook are all going to be by themselves, so I'm not too sure what the play call is, but it looks like it's worked. It's gotten LVC to all rotate over to A, and that's going to be a free C site if you are Stony Brook. Sardog going to be here, but he's going to have to be careful. He at least gets that ping to work for him.
10 seconds left.
Doesn't have a lot he can do, though. Has to wait for his team and at least teleports out before
One enemy remaining.
Before baiting for Zario, and Sardog hits the shots onto Icy. Only losing one player in that round is huge if you are LVC.
That was good, but there is more to do. On n'est pas sorti de l'auberge.
They get one back, but they're going to need a bit more work to be done as well if they want to continue to win in this map. I've been liking the defensive setups out of LVC, but just going to need a bigger effort and maybe a bit more patience on their side. Besides Stardog, of course. As he may be able to get a pick early on. But the fights over at A are going to be arguably bigger ones. Information is given. Juice just trying to play this close angle. Now keeps going through, but Axie just waiting for it. The shot from Crisper going to be off, but only has a chance to put one bullet down. Zario now stuck in this connector. Can he get out with his life? No.
Cage triggered.
This is a great play from Stony Brook. John Cook finds one, finds two.
Spike planted.
Makes things even. Has the control over towards B main, or A main. Or sorry, not A main. CT. Sardog going to be healed, but Pocket should have the gunfight. He does. Trade is still there, though. Now it's a 2v2. Time dwindling down if you are Stony Brook. Leftover, gonna help join Icy in the backside of the site here. John Cook gonna at least get this to half. Gets it, falls for it. Crisper needs to win a 1v2 and doesn't have a chance in hell. As Stony Brook continuing to hold on to the lead. Into round 5, and Stony Brook looking to hold on. As it looks like another C hit for Stony Brook. Sardog again going with this peek over towards Mound just to alleviate any early pressure that may come in. Pocket though, at least gets the spot onto Sardog. He backs off sight. Still has a teleport to work with too, but he's gonna have to be careful.
They found my trap.
Tripwire gets taken out, and
You should
Sardog, along with Grisbert, backing off sight. The lockdown comes in, and John doesn't get the flash in at the greatest time. As 2 flashes from Jonathan are great plays. As all of this pressure on the back side of C, on the T side of C. The knives are out for Pocket. Axie, the one to draw first blood. A spot comes on to Juice. Pocket finds a kill on Zario there too. As Crisper
Last player standing.
done there. Axie with the angle. Nothing for LVC here. As a flawless round comes in from Stony Brook. Looking to shut LVC down on this map. And we've seen LVC struggle a lot on this one, as their defense has just been not great so far, and you can see the timeout there from LVC. Not a very defensive-sided map, but certainly some things they could look to do a bit better. They are taking a lot of gunfights that they really don't need to, but I have a feeling that this is a map they don't scrim a ton, and that it just allows for Stony Brook to exploit the small holes that LVC isn't as clinical on, like we saw with map number 1. I think if LVC just find ways to force the gunfights a bit more differently, they can start taking a few rounds out of this, but they have to be able to hold on to sites a bit better than what they are currently doing, as they're giving up sites very easily, allowing those one-on-ones, or not even really one-on-ones, they're more like one-on-3s, one-on-4s in the early round, and LVC just needs to be able to take advantage of what they're getting. But it's going to need a full-on effort. You're LVC, and already Sardog getting isolated. At least managed to get out alive. It's a little bit of HP taken off of him. But again, a C hit coming in for Stony Brook. Zario's going to have the chance to flash and put some shots down range, but look at that fly from Pocket and Leftover. They just teleport and fly on in and get some kills. Seekers are out, but how much are they really going to do, as Leftover tosses down that Phantom to pick up the Vandal on site. LVC just trying to get any info that they can and maybe get a pick or two. Paranoia slams Juice right in the face. Is now in a 1v4. Makes it a 1v3, but it's, oh, and a great shot from Juice, 1v2, but there's not enough time on the clock, and Jonathan gonna get the kill. Juice at least does a bit of damage, but it is 5-1, so LVC needing to find a way to get back into this. They don't want to see Icebox, but I'm sure they would not have the most issues playing it. Now we see having to save again, as it's looking more like a reverse of what the previous map was. Zario and Sardog again on the C site, but just having to back down early. John Cook at a very long angle with a stinger. Not the most ideal weapon for the job. Crisper trying to keep watch of B. Doesn't have a camera to work with right now. And a great flick from Juice. At least gets the first blood before he gets taken out. John Cook also has a stinger in hand, so it could make things a bit mixy there. John Cook at least able to grab that Vandal. Throws out a blind to make sure. Pocket in the one-on-one, and John Cook takes it. semblance of what could be a round win there. But is this fight going to get watched? Jonathan on the pinch. Doesn't find anything. Leftover, teleports over to C, but the ultimate from CRISPR comes in, and both
30
players
seconds
of
left.
Stony Brook going to have their locations known. As you can see on the minimap, LVC closing in on Leftover. He's not in a great spot, but he does have control of C. For how long, though, as Axie finally makes his way onto site and gets that spike down. Ultimate comes out from Zario. Axie finds one, finds two. Can he find the third, or will Leftover be the one to take him? Zario is just down, but look at the shots from Leftover. Oh my God, Leftover finds every single kill minus the one that Axie was able to get on Zario. Huge stuff from Leftover to take that round away from LVC. Started to look like something finally coming together for LVC, and then they just get wiped on the retake. And LVC still in the dirt. 6-1 scoreline for Stony Brook. 10-4 from Axie. Sardog has the op, but he's going to be playing over towards A now. Axie just trying to get a wall bang through that box, and he's not going to find anything. With CRISPR going to be close by. Looks like Icy going to be the first one to get some contact here, and the players obviously line up again, but they managed to stay alive for now. That's going to be Juice and John Cook, and they get out of there. Still staying up. Look at how passive LVC is playing now. Will it benefit them? Or will Stony Brook still stomp onto the site? Cage comes in. Now the camera's up. Didn't spot anything just yet, though. And there you can see Axie. In the flesh and blood. Stony Brook slowly making their way over to C again. How will this play out? That is a great eye from Axie, but is it going to be enough? It looks like for now, LVC is still managing to hold some semblance of control on the site. CRISPR at least picks off Axie before being able to back on down. A much more collective round as Juice opens the door and finds two. John picks up Jonathan, or John Cook picks up Jonathan.
I'll make them remember. They're only human.
As LVC finally get another one on the board. A much calmer round if you are LVC there. Maybe finding the answer to some of the woes that they've been having so far in this first half.
Blinding.
And look at this. Stony Brook again looking to find their way to the C site. Zario with a stun all the way over the top as Pocket gets flashed by Zario. Fantastic spot for Zario, and CRISPR managed to pick up the kill from it. Doesn't take any damage either. Axie gets detected. Does not toss the eye out to get a full clear, but just waiting for CRISPR to show his head. Finally, making the move over to mound. CRISPR's still not taking any damage. His wall bangs are just a bit off, and even so, CRISPR's behind the pillar. Paranoia, though, going to hit CRISPR this time around. Actually takes out Zario on site, and now full control to the site. Simply comes down to LVC winning the gunfights on C. They don't want to give it up, and it's just not going to happen.
Spike planted.
Still responds with one. John Cook responds with another. Leftover and Icy in the 2v3. They do have Spike down. And they do know where it's at. Icy makes it a 2-on-2. Ping for the defuse is going to come in, but is anyone going to check it? Is anyone going to hit the wall bang? Yes,
Last
Icy
player
at
standing.
least gets one before getting taken down. Now it's a 1-on-1. Icy going to get the peek just in time. And Stony Brook putting 7 up for now. A great attacking side so far if you are Stony Brook. I'd say another blunder of a round if you're LVC. Not able to take all the gunfights on sight and not capitalizing off of that first blood again.
They are so dead.
Can LVC find a way to bring it back? As Juice going to be the man of the hour for LVC to start things off. Sardog does pop the tour de force, but he is nowhere near the play right now. Lockdown comes in as Juice maybe just trying to get a wall bang. Doesn't find it. Can he get out of this in time? And he does. So B site going to be in control for Stony Brook. Seeker's going to come out from Zario. Juice also has a teleport to work with. Crisper, the one to find the first blood. Now here come the Seekers. Crisper finds another kill. 3v5. Jonathan tries to get the plant down, but it's not going to go his way. Pocket gets a great flick onto Zario as Juice barely able to escape. John Cook takes down Axie. All the while, Sardog finally getting something in this round as he takes out Pocket. Juice going to clean up the last. LVC find a way to take that round off of Stony Brook. And with just 2 more rounds in the half, they can make this a 7-5, but we shall see. Looks like another default towards the C site again for Stony Brook. That's what's been working, and that's been the plan all along. We'll see if that continues to be a successful story for them. Sardog has the op. Actually, no, it's a B main hit. It's a B main hit for both teams. Now we have a lot of aggression coming out for LVC. They have the weapons to take some lives off of SBU, and that's what they'll do. 4v3. Is Juice going to juggle the weapons back? Keep them out of Stony Brook's hands. Save for Stony Brook.
Caught one.
As Crisper takes out the teleporter. Only gets one full kill though before getting taken out himself.
Spike
Icy
planted.
gets the plant down. 2v3. Players going to be on site for Stony Brook. That knife going to find only one of them. But it does take down the turret for the moment, and Juice picks off Icy. All down to leftover. Teleports up top, but that defuse is coming in, and Zario is going to get it. LVC take the round, and Zario puts leftover off the map.
Last round in the half.
Now we are in the last round of the first half. What looked really rough for LVC to start things off. Finally bringing it back, and they could end this with just a 2-round deficit going into what should be a strong attacking side. As Lotus certainly more favorable for those looking to attack a site rather than defend it.
Get out of my way!
Sardog managed to avoid the stun, but the knives come out from Pocket. The Sardog doesn't hit the shot, something we've seen him do a lot in the past, but Icy gonna be the one to pick up a first blood as John just tries to find something through the door, doesn't quite get it. It's going to have to be a retake if you're LVC. And retakes have not been the specialty this map. Knives still in Pocket's hands as well.
Here!
Gets spotted, but how much is that really going to mean? Not a lot of ultimates to work with if you're LVC. Just have that ultimate from Crisper, but Pocket again taking someone down.
Last player standing.
All down to John as all the players of Stony Brook putting down LVC. It's an 8-4 first half.
Switching sides.
Still a decent one if you are LVC. They'll need to respond with an 8-4 half of their own, or even better if they don't want an overtime and they want to take the map. Looks like a heavy C hit, and this is really what worked for Stony Brook, and this is what works for a lot of teams. Usually highly dependent on that player that decides to peek on out from C main, or peek on out over towards C main to get 2 kills and then pop back out. Will Pocket be up to the task? As the flash is going to be immediate and the suppress going to be huge as well. So Pocket already off site into the back, but has the ability. We've seen Pocket hit some good shots already today, so has the chance to at least get something working. But for now, it's going to be a spike planted for LVC, and Juice going to be able to find a first blood. It's the frenzy. Leftover going to be in the back for now, but not very long, as it's going to have to be a retake here if you are Stony Brook already. 3v5 as well. Not a lot to work with if you are Stony Brook. Default plant, and Zardog has a great angle onto those on site. Zarya finds 2, and Crisper finds the last. A flawless in the pistol for LVC again. That's a great bounce back round, and what you'd expect if you are on this attacking side, taking the C site. Just about as picture perfect as it gets.
Here.
Does Stony Brook have it in them to find a way to defend this attack? 2 Stingers going to be in the pockets of LVC. Zarya going to have that Guardian. Cousins detected for Icy. Pocket manages to dodge it though. Gets spotted by the dog. Can he get the right click? No. Icy also finds one on the John before getting traded. Job at least somewhat done if you are Stony Brook, and Pocket gets out with his life as well. Trades are in, but Crisper manages to put it back into the hands of LVC, or the advantage at least into the hands of LVC. As Crisper gets put really weak, this could be a 2v2 pretty quickly. Jonathan and Pocket trying to work together as Pocket only gets Crisper, but Zarya lines them up.
Take aim.
Puts another on the board for LVC. Slowly, LVC are working their way back into it, but they're still going to need a few more. They want to have a chance at that lead. And if it's not broke, there's no reason to fix it. So here we go again. LVC all the way over towards C. But they have a bit of a lurk over at B to make sure they can get out if they need to. And that spike also down over towards their spawn. So they may just look to play off of B here rather than C. There's going to be a lot of utility for Icy on the site. Trying to keep himself alive and stall the push as long as necessary. A lot of this utility could be huge if you're Icy. Going to hear that dog come in. Actually gets hit by the knife, so now Icy doesn't really have the ability to use any of the utility placed down. LVC storming onto the site, but so far Icy still making up for it. Finds a lot of nice shots, but it's all down to Zarya. Finds the first shot. One-on-one with Leftover. Trying to get
30 seconds left.
Does Leftover get the angle? No. Flash comes in. Zarya has a chance. Flash comes in, and Zarya wins it. The paranoia not enough, and Zarya somehow, some way, putting 4 down with the Guardian. The bonus round is LVC's, and that's not what you want to see if you're Stony Brook. Huge, huge win. Zarya in the 1v2 is pixel perfect with those headshots. And now just a 1-round deficit. Very well could be erased in this round here.
Knife deployed.
Knife comes out. No presence detected, but Zario doesn't even need that information. As Crisper gets the angle on Pocket. Axie could be dangerous here with the Marshall. But for now, it's looking like LVC are going to attack towards Icy's way. Now things have come to a screeching halt. Icy just waiting for the sound cues onto the site. As LVC looks to execute, maybe try and bait some of these players off of C, but off of C, but there's no one here. As Icy gonna have to make his way forward, gets hit through the smoke and gets spotted before any damage can be done. Full control over to LVC on C. That's a tongue twister there.
I know
Can
exactly.
anyone find at least a kill here? If you are if you are Stony Brook, the locations of these players going to be known though. Ultimate from Crisper just going to make sure they know what's going on. It's all down to Jonathan. 1v4, a stinger in hand. Certainly going to be the round again for LVC. And that's a tie. Ball game on the board. Stony Brook have to find something here defensively. It's not going to be an easy feat. As for any of you who do follow the Valorant scene, you know how much of a pain it can be for Lotus if you want to defend literally anything. LVC are showing why that is the case here.
My eyes will tip the balance.
Crisper gonna look to get some utility down over at B main, so if Pocket decides to push fully through, gonna be a bit of a pain to get through, but at least takes it out and tosses down the smoke to bait something out. Obviously just seeing what they can get information-wise. They have that spike over towards the A site, and look at all the noise they've made. They've made such a racket that they've already baited everyone over towards the B and C sites. LVC may have an open A if they manage to take the space and understand the situation. Leftover, the only one looking around, and now the Seekers come out. LVC know. They know what's going on. And look at this push. LVC flying over towards A, trying to get there as quickly as possible. And now Stony Brook just have to play through CT. Can they get anything done, though?
Planted.
Spike goes down. Jonathan with a fantastic shot on Zario, but it's going to be a trade. Stony Brook going to need a bit more than that if they want to take the round.
Careful.
John Cook managed to escape with his life. Pocket, though, waiting for it. John just has to go through the door. Juice at least gets a bit of chip damage in. Leftover, though, making things in their favor. The lockdown comes in, but the defuse is getting pinged. Can LVC manage to get to the spike before it? No, they cannot. A fantastic retake from Stony Brook, calming things back down. Just what the doctor ordered if you are Stony Brook, and it's a bit scary now knowing they have to continue defending just as well, but they at least had the ultimates in that round to work things out. They still have Axie's ultimate, along with the teleport from Leftover and the knives for Pocket. We saw Pocket have a fantastic set of shots with that one in the first half. Can Pocket do it again as the ultimate getting pulled out as soon as the round comes to a start? And look at this, could be huge, and no headshots, only just some damage, some very light damage at that. And now LVC already on to the site. Icy at least gets John Cook off the map, though, with those mollies. Spike not going to be planted just yet.
Spike
And
planted.
can the pinch come in if you are Stony Brook, Empress has popped as well. Jonathan finds two. Axie gets another. It's all down to Zario in another clutch situation, and no. Stony Brook shutting it down. Now 10 on the docket here for Stony Brook. Just a few away defensively. Somehow pulling themselves back into it again. Just gonna wait a couple seconds for a defuse. Just kind of talk things out and see what they want to do. As wait, Axie accidentally hops off. That scared me for a second. I thought Axie low-key choked it, but they had me. Axie, I would imagine that was intentional. You had me for a second there. Went 1.58 still on the clock, so all things good on the side of Stony Brook. Again, a 2-round lead. LVC. The aggression early works, and we saw that have an effect, but now they're stuck on a save. I'm not sure how well this is going to go for them, and this could be a disastrous attacking half if you are LVC, giving up a few rounds that realistically you shouldn't be, and putting yourselves in a situation where you have to win off of thrifties. As Pocket looks to fly through the smoke wisely, though, backing down before anything happens. Gets flashed and has to back on out. Jonathan, though, going to be here for the stun just in case. LVC back away. Seeing if they can get someone to push on out. And maybe force a rotation. They don't have great weapons, so they're going to have to rely heavily on the utility if they want to get anything going in this round. As you can see the lines there from the concussion. Certainly going to get called in as Zario pops the ultimate, so none of the abilities of Stony Brook going to be used for a fair bit of time, and it's going to allow LVC to storm onto the site, get the spike down, get 2 kills as well with a weapon in hand. Ultimates come through. Zario finds a headshot. Teleport, though, is going to come in from leftover. Doesn't need to cancel either. All behind the back line in a 1v3, though. Has to get these kills and the defuse. Flash going to blind him temporarily. And now he's certainly not going to win this round. A thrifty if you're LVC. I think that was a thrifty. I could be wrong. But a great round for LVC to bounce back into it. You can see just why this map is so heavily favored for the attackers. The weapon difference simply just does not matter on that C site. The second you get in, it's all pandemonium from there.
I need this. Thank you.
Once again, just a one-round deficit, and LVC can certainly make this one up. As now it's a save for Stony Brook, but the head of one of these players could be spotted, but no. Sardog too quick with the shot. As LVC now looking to rotate on out. Left over by his lonesome on A. What does Leftover have in him? As this is exactly what will give LVC the round if they manage to take him out quickly in the back. But for now, pressure over towards the site, the back of the site specifically. Johnson takes out John. Leftover doesn't get checked. So now it's a 3v4 in Stony Brook's favor. Make that a 2v4. LVC throwing this one away. Just handing everything they want to Stony Brook. Zario has to win these 2 fights, and he's not in a great spot to do so. Icy is very weak, though. Just needed 1 bullet put into him. Zario finds Axie, still holding his own on site. Sardog in the back line, but in the 1v2. Doesn't have to worry about a lot of time, though. That Molly gonna get destroyed, as now Icy has no HP, and a clutch from Sardog.
How do I get away with these things?
Gets a bit shaky, but it does not matter. 10-10. And Sardog keeps LVC alive. We are going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you typically will see on a map like Lotus. But who will come out on top? Both teams just 3 away from taking the map and either sending us to a game 3 or closing the series out here if you're LVC. Not a quite full buy situation either. But like I said, the gun difference simply does not matter on this C site. Things could get a bit shaky, a bit mixy. But what does LVC want to do here? They don't have the command to work with if you're Zario. They do have the knife. They do have the flash. That thing travels a great distance before finding anything. This pocket still on C. Actually going to get the first blood though into Juice. Seekers come out. Crisper at least takes out Leftover. So it's a 4v4. Sardog making sure no other reinforcements are coming through B. He should be able to at least spot one. Axie's there. He just has to back down. Zario rotates all the way over to A and gets that spike planted. Is Icy's spot going to be known? Gets back to A fairly quickly, and Crisper gets taken down. But Zario and John combining for 2. This pinch is going to be massive if you're Stony Brook. The 2 duelists against the 2-inish. And that's going to be Pocket with the first fight. Zario now in a 2v1, but doesn't have to worry about a lot of time on the clock, and it's going to be won by Pocket. Again, Stony Brook just keeping themselves barely ahead.
My ult's ready.
Pocket with just 10 HP. The duelist combo going to be the difference maker.
Gun here.
This has been a phenomenal defensive side if you are Stony Brook, though. Having 3 on the board so far. But will they be able to take it? Or will LVC find a string of rounds to close out the series? You very well could see an overtime in this game as well. Looks like LVC gearing themselves towards the A site, but Axie just going to fire through the smoke again, taking down an LVC player right through the smoke, and Sardog off the map. This is something LVC has dealt with so many times before, and once again, just getting blasted through smokes. I don't know if you want to call that a skill difference or just an unlucky happening, but we've seen it so many times this year. LVC just get slammed anytime they look through or they get near a smoke.
Time to hunt.
John Cook seeing if he can find anything on the C site. And no! Oh, actually he does at the last second. Gets that spot on the Leftover. Just trying to do what he can to maybe bring some pressure to C, even things out. But he's got to be careful. He's by himself. And he gets the angle, gets the smarts play over towards C. But what is this going to mean?
left.
Pocket finds Crisper with the knives. Is the double peek there? No. Jonathan just a bit off on the timing. As now LVC can double peek him, and that swing is perfect. 1 for 1. Now a 2v2 again. Smoke comes in. Juice gonna win the fight. Pocket just isolating, trying to isolate gunfights, but LVC playing together. Pocket, though, has at least knives to work with. And that suppress is going to be big, so down to a Vandal. As these players from LVC and back sighting in a phenomenal spot to take this round. Pocket doesn't have the time to rotate all the way through the back, so gonna have to fight this right in the front. Juice should be the one with the kill here. Unless Zario wins the fight. No! Pocket managed to escape with his life. And Juice has to win the fight, and no, he does not! Is the defuse gonna come in? No, it will not, just barely. Somehow LVC again just squeaking by with a round. LVC coming down, turning things down to the wire every single round. Pocket has been phenomenal this entire map, despite the 16 and 17 score line or stat line for Pocket. Now 11-11. One of these two teams going to have to win 2 straight if they don't want this to see an overtime. Well,
You want to
1-for-1
play?
trade will
Let's play.
put things to OT. As look at Icy getting as aggressive as he can. And it's looking like a bye for next if you're Stony Brook. Just looking to play this off the next round. That first blood goes the way of Juice. Sardog just trying to find something. Juice gets another kill over towards C. And that rotation comes in if you're from Stony Brook. A little leftover still on the A site just to make sure, but doesn't really have a lot to work with. Just stuck with a pistol. A sheriff.
Cooling down.
The only thing to his name. Maybe a bit of utility. Flash comes in, and this time it gets checked. Made them pay last time. They didn't look at that back corner, and
Blinded.
LVC are wise to it this time around. Spike is planted 2v5. Certainly LVC going to be heading
One
to
enemy
a match
remaining.
point as Sardog picks
Gun
off
here.
Axie with that tour de force. Jonathan maybe just looking to take a rifle off a player of LVC. Not a lot of econ to work with. He sticks someone with an non-ideal weapon as John gets slammed by that sheriff headshot. Great shot from Jonathan, but doesn't matter. Sario gets the trade, and
Match point.
LVC could end things here with a fantastic comeback. But Stony Brook could put things at least to another set of rounds.
Right
They
there.
take it here. You can see Icy gonna be stuck holding a bulldog, although on this C site, it's at least an ideal place to be able to hold it, so it's not the end of the world. Just have to be careful of how aggressive you get if you are Icy. And look at this, LVC making all sorts of racket. They don't care if Stony Brook knows, but Icy,
Spike down. C.
huge first blood. And like I said, this site, it does not matter what you have. As Crisper at least evens the odds, but it's going to be a full battle now.
Shadows
Juice tries to bait a player out with that door. Doesn't get anything. No dice there. Leftover has the ultimate. Gonna teleport. Looks like just trying to get some spots over at C main. Or sorry, not C main, A main.
I've got
Or
your
yeah, sorry,
trail.
C main. They're just making sure C main because he was already at A main, and now he's by himself though. He has to be careful. He has to teleport out. He's pinged up, but he at least managed to get away with his life. As the Seekers gonna give the locations of these players out. Spike goes down. Now it needs to be a retake. The lockdown comes in, but Juice trying to get through. At least takes down Icy somehow before falling. But the kill's going the way of Stony Brook again on this A site. They've managed to play so well off of these lockdowns. Actually trying to get a defuse, but decides against it. The shots are there, and now it's all down to 1, and that will be it.
Attackers win.
You were
LVC managed to close things
was
out.
inevitable.
A GG's in the chat. LVC take game number 2 by just a hair. You can see it. No one really with a massive game from LVC other than Zarya there. 20, 15, and 20. A phenomenal one to watch and a phenomenal one to cast there too. But LVC will find their second in a row. And they will take the series in a 2-0 fashion over Stony Brook. They managed to put things to 2 and 3 on the NECC Champions season. Just what you'd like to see from them after a rough start. But that will be it for us tonight. We will see you guys back here tomorrow at 10 p.m. for LVC Rocket League taking on Alvernia University. It's sure to be a phenomenal series, as it always is. We will catch you guys back here then. Have a great night, everybody.